We'll check this movement here for wear on the escape wheel pivot holes. This one looks pretty good. I'd say that's within acceptable tolerances. You got a little bit of play there, but you've got to have some end shake in order to be able to have smooth operation. If it was tight, then you wouldn't be able to have any movement on the escape wheel. Now if we look on the back side, here's the pivot on this side. Now you can see there's a lot of movement on the pivot on the fourth wheel, the wheel that engages the escape wheel. That definitely would need to be rebushed. And I see some movement, as you can, as you can see there on the escape wheel pivot. I would go ahead and rebush that, because it is more critical, because you can see that there is some egg shaping, and it is more critical that we keep the escape wheel properly lined up. And also, you may note from our discussions in our previous video program that the greatest amount of wear is where your lantern pinion or leaf pinion is located to the wheel, the fourth wheel that's pushing it or driving it. And so that's why we're seeing more wear on this pivot here than the one on the front, because it's being driven from back here where we would have the greatest amount of wear. Now looking at, let's see, this other movement here, this is a Sessions, and we have the verge and the escape wheel mounted between the plates. And if we look here, here's the pivot hole here, and that looks really nice on that escape wheel there. And on the back side here, looks like really good fit there too. Now since the verge is mounted between the plates, there is the verge arbor pivot holes that we need to look at and consider. So we have a verge arbor hole right here, and that looks pretty good. And then we have one on the other side, which is right there. That looks pretty good. So this would be a good movement, and our other one would require one bushing on the back side, on the back plate of the movement. And no further work really should be done on the escapement until all the worn pivot holes have been bushed. Now to skip this step and go further would really be useless. The next thing we need to look at would be to check for wear on the saddle holes of the verge. Worn saddle holes can be closed using a hole closing punch. This is the only instance where a hole closing punch would be useful in clock repair. And if we overclose the hole, you can take a smoothing broach like this and broach it out and adjust it so that it would be the proper size to fit on your movement.